Okay. So, hi. I always start out really disorganized and kind of chaotic, and I kind of want to have this video and have it be explained in a good and civilized way, and also I am not one way or the other. Like, I get both sides. So, and usually it's not like that. Usually if someone is talking about this topic, usually the majority of people are either pro-choice, pro-life, and that's it. That they're going to be like that for the rest of their life. Fuck anyone else. But me, I get both sides. So this is just going to be a discussion video and telling you why I think the way I think, and you can comment down below, tell me what you think, and I'll definitely reply, talk to you about it, debate, whatever it is. Just don't insult me, because everyone is entitled to their own opinions and beliefs, and this is just mine. So, I'm talking about this now because it was brought up to me recently by my sister, and it's brought up a lot on the internet now because there are movements for pro-life on Facebook, and I see all of these posts and I just want to talk about it. So what happened was, how this was brought up to me, is we were in the car and we were talking about it. My sister is 25, she has 3 kids, and she was just talking about abortion, and she asked me if I would ever get one, and I said yes. And she said, I disown you. And yeah, I mean, that's that. And I'm just gonna explain to you my reasoning and why. And my sister, I know she's been pro-life her whole life. Her whole life she has been pro-life. And I understand that. If you make a mistake, if you are irresponsible with having sex, and you do not use anything to prevent pregnancy, you do not use condoms, you do not use birth control, you're just literally counting on their pull-out game, then yeah, I mean, you shouldn't do that, and it's not the baby's fault if you do that and you end up pregnant. It's not the fetus's fault that you were irresponsible and now you are growing a whole nother human being inside of you. It's not their fault necessarily, but I do not think that if you do go ahead and say, I am not ready for a baby, and you go ahead and you get an abortion, or you take a pill, because you know they have pill abortion now, you don't have to go and get a surgery or get it vacuumed out of you, you can take a pill and that's it. If it's before 8 weeks. If it's after 8 weeks, you can't do that. But sorry, I'm sick. So if you do that, if you go ahead and say I'm not ready for a baby, and you get an abortion, and you take a pill, it's fine. It is fine. It is fine. It's your choice. If you do not want a baby, if you do not want to raise a human being, you don't have to. But in my opinion, you should do something to prevent it. And I'm not focused. You should do something to prevent it. You should you should take some form of birth control, and you should, if you don't want to take some form of birth control, use a condom. It's easy as that. Just use a condom, take a pill, voila. My mom knows somebody that has had 5 abortions in their life. Now, like, I'm all for pro-choice. I am. If you don't want to have a baby, that's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. If you want to go and get an abortion because you don't want a baby, that's fine. But there are other ways to prevent it, like birth control and condoms. If those two things fail, if you literally use a condom or, are on birth control and it failed and you became pregnant when you did something to prevent it, that is way more of an excuse to get an abortion than just being like, well, I had sex and I didn't really do anything to try and prevent it and I ended up getting pregnant, so I'm just gonna go and get an abortion because I don't want a baby. Oh, if you don't want a baby, use a condom. Get birth control. It's out there for you, girl. That's all. So I think, yeah, getting an abortion 5 times, I think you should have learned after the first time to get birth control or use condom. And if condoms and birth control failed 4 more times, holy fucking shit, what are you using? So yes, that is what I was saying. That's not the reason why I would get an abortion. So I'm gonna tell you the story of my sister because she's been pro-life her whole life and she is probably never going to change or see it anyone else's way. But she does think that if you were raped or, something traumatic really happened to you and, this baby is going to remind you your whole life of your rapist, stuff like that, then she says there are special circumstances where it would be okay. But anyways, so my sister, she had a baby, her first baby was the age of 19 or 20. I don't really know, I don't really ask her, never really asked her how that happened or what happened, but I'm gonna take a prime guess that she was counting also on his pullout game and it failed. So that's that. But so she had a first baby or whatever, and my dad told her that she should get an abortion, and they don't really have a good relationship anymore, and it's not why, but they don't really have a good relationship anymore. She totally disagreed with him, and my mom totally disagreed with him, and they're pro-life, so she had the baby, and I'm sure, like, I don't know, I'm not trying to, like, piss her off. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to piss anyone off or insult her or anything like that, but she had the baby at 19. He's my nephew. His name is Holiday. He is 6 now. Kindergarten, just started school, and then she had 2 more children after Holiday, and so she moved out at like I'm gonna say 21, 22. Got her own. No, maybe later than that actually. 22, 23, maybe. She got her own place, her own house actually, and lived there for a while. But then she bought a house in the city of Buffalo, like Buffalo. If you don't know how bad Buffalo is, then you don't live here, and you don't know anything about it. I remember I was talking to somebody who lived in LA, and they were like trying to up me on how gangster LA is compared to Buffalo, and I'm just like, I didn't know people compete at how gangster their city is. I didn't know it was a competition. Like, that's actually something to be proud of. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, I mean,
it's 3 o'clock.
Her husband's cousins, a lot of them, I think 3, have gotten shot within the past couple of years. Over the past couple of years, a lot of his cousins have died because of shootings. High crime rate. I think the last time I checked, it was the 3rd poorest city in the United States of America. So she moved into a bad neighborhood is what I'm trying to say, and she didn't like it. She didn't want her kids to go to a school district like that, and so they moved back into our house to save up for a new house that is going to be in a good area, and it's going to cost a lot more, so that's why she needs to save up and stay here. And she's 25 years old and, you know, living with us with 3 kids. And here is why I would get an abortion. And yes, I will say this decision was inspired by her. Sorry, I was out of focus. This decision was inspired by my sister because she didn't get an abortion when she should have. She should have, in my opinion, she was not financially stable. She was not grown up enough. She did not have a stable career. She did not have anything really to support her children good enough, in my opinion. In my opinion, she did not. And that's why she is back here when she shouldn't be with 3 children. And I would never, ever put my child on my parents' shoulders. I would never. My parents have 3 kids. They have enough kids. They don't need more kids. They don't. So when teenagers, if your parents are fine with it, which even then, if I got pregnant and I told my mom would probably be like, yay, you know, she'd probably be like, yay, this is a great thing, I can have another grandchild and blah 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 blah. But it sucks for her because she stopped having kids after the 3rd one. She doesn't want another one. She doesn't want another child. She doesn't want another kid in her house. They fucking scream. They fucking poop. They fucking run all over the place. They're hyper all the time. And it's annoying. It's annoying. She doesn't want more kids. It's just that. So, yeah. Yeah. So, for the teenage moms, or I think that's what this is called, teen moms, not teen moms, teen moms. I don't watch the show, but I will say that it makes me upset to see that these teenagers have gone through with having a baby. And usually, most of them are still living with their parents. And if you are not financially stable, if you do not have your own house, if you can't even take care of your fucking self yet, then how would you be able to take care of another child? How would you be able to take care of another being if you can't even take care of your fucking self? That doesn't make sense. You don't. You don't do that. You don't put you don't put your child on somebody else's shoulders to support. And that would be your parents. Yeah. Even if you have a job, if you are fucking living with them, they still have to take care of them and deal with them with some way, like a parent does. You know, you don't live with your grandma, you visit your grandma. Your grandma stopped having kids for a reason. Your mom stopped having kids for a reason. So they don't have to deal with it anymore. What else? I don't know. I'm just like ranting. I don't know if I went over this already. If I did, I'm just gonna cut it out completely. If you do not want a kid, then don't have sex. If you are not ready for a kid, don't have sex. If you are not responsible enough, if you are not financially stable enough, then do not have sex. And I think that is the dumbest thing I have ever fucking heard, because What if somebody does not want to have kids for the rest of their life, and they know that, and they have decided that, and they're like, fuck kids, I don't want kids, ever. You're telling them that they shouldn't have sex? What does that mean? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm gonna have sex if I want to. Just because I don't want to have kids doesn't mean that I'm not gonna have sex. I know that biologically, humans and human vaginas and penises were made to procreate. I mean, that's the reason why we have penises and vaginas, right? But that's not all it is to humans anymore. So why the fuck would I keep from having sex if I don't want to have kids ever? Like, I want to go the rest of my fucking life without having a fucking kid, without carrying a baby for 9 months, without going into labor, ever. I do not want to do that ever in my life. But, don't have sex then. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, you fucking stupid bitch? I don't know. Do you know? Yeah. So, I think irresponsibility is not voided, is not vetoed. I think that you should be responsible no matter what. And if you are not ready for a child, if you do not want a kid, if you are not planning to have a human being, then be responsible. Have birth control. Have condoms. Do not just fucking hope and pray that the sperm doesn't reach the egg. Like, just don't do it. Just have birth control and condoms. That's all. And if it fails, then fuck. You didn't want a baby, so get an abortion. Like, I think children, having a kid, procreation, because a human being, raising a human being is a huge deal. It should always be planned, no matter what. It should always be a decision between you and your partner, whether you're married or not. Doesn't matter. It should always be a decision. Hey, you want to have kids? You want to have a kid with me? You want to raise a fucking child with me? Yeah, you know what? I do want that. That's what it should be every single time. Every time. I mean, if you are ready for a child, or, you're financially stable and you have a career and, you have a house and everything, and you can totally take care of a kid, and you weren't really planning on having a kid, but you ended up being pregnant, and you went ahead and was like, oh, well, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. That's fine. But, I'm just saying that you should always be prepared for having a kid. And if you aren't, that is a fucking problem. That is a huge problem, because it is a huge deal to have to grow a human being inside you. That's a huge fucking deal, in my opinion. It is. I don't know. Tell me what you think down below in the comments. I mean, I obviously, I can see both ways. I can see where you're like, well, it's not the baby's fault, and I can also see where, like, I'm not fucking ready, and I did do something to prevent this, so why the fuck would I have one? I don't want kids, so I'm not gonna have them. I see both sides. It's just that if right now I'm doing something, I'm being responsible, I am doing something to prevent it, and if that thing fails, then obviously by me taking birth control that I don't want a baby, so I won't have one. Alright, bye.